Ex Machina, Ex Machina, Ex Machina. We in. What up, everybody? Welcome to the Chris and Kyle Show. That's Chris.
Hey.
And I'm Kyle. That was perfect. You did so good.
Oh,
the timing was just
I know. I'm getting a little bit better.
Spot on.
Like 100 episodes in.
Today, we are talking about Chris's favorite movie, Ex Machina, Ex Machina, Ex Machina.
Why'd you say it 3 times?
Because we always troll you about the first time you saw it, and you posted on Facebook, Ex Machina, Ex Machina, Ex Machina.
Yeah.
And that was all the post said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
that's all I could think.
For those who don't know, Ex Machina is a film written and directed by Alex Garland, his directorial debut, by the way, which is insane to me. Starring Alicia Vikander, Domhnall Gleeson, Oscar Isaac, and Sonoya Mizuno. Those are the little, basically the only... There's the helicopter guy, I guess, is on screen.
Yeah.
And then, some of Caleb's friends at the very beginning of the movie in one shot, and that's it. Just those 4 people, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Whole movie. In a dope-ass house.
Very much a restricted narrative.
A super dope-ass house.
Yeah.
In a dope-ass landscape. Seriously, beautiful, setting.
It's gorgeous, but, how much would you want to live in that house?
I mean, I guess it depends. How far away are you from everyone that exists? Because it takes them a long time to
get out there.
How hard is it to go to Chick-fil-A?
Yeah. Dude,
do I need to get a helicopter ride for 4 hours to get to Chick-fil-A?
You would have to
I'm not about that.
You would have to have a robot.
Although, if I was Nathan, aka Oscar Isaac, in that situation, I would be rich enough to just build a Chick-fil-A on campus if I wanted, and be the only person that eats there.
This is how you know you're not Nathan. He literally makes jokes about how he fucking killed the people who installed his generator.
Is that a joke though?
I'm not sure. That's
the underlying narrative of this movie is basically everything people say. You can be like, is that real or not? Is this a person or not? Are you a robot or not? That's basically what this whole movie is.
Yeah.
I think that was a joke.
Yeah.
I think it was a joke. Because to me, part of the suspense of the movie is basically determining what value you place on Ava's life as an AI robot, or is she because she's such an advanced AI, does she deserve the same attributes you would give just any other human?
Right.
And because of that, how evil do you think Oscar Isaac is, or do you just think Oscar Isaac is a dude who's trying to build a supercomputer and the supercomputer is trying to murder him, and he's just trying to make a better supercomputer? You know what I mean? So it all depends on where you come on. I think it all boils down to what side you take with Ava. And that sort of determines what you think of the other characters in the film.
Do you think that there has to be sides to it?
I mean, kind of.
I think that I don't think that there has to be, really. I think that I don't think that there is necessarily there has to be an evil fucking side to this. I think that
he gets murdered.
Yeah.
Caleb gets probably murdered.
Nathan gets murdered. Caleb gets left for dead.
Yeah.
Right. But if that didn't happen, fucking Ava would have gotten murdered.
Which is why I'm saying, if you boil down to all Ava is a robot, that's not evil.
But I don't think I think that the evil that you might be projecting onto these characters might be, I think it's subjective. I don't.
Well, yeah, the entire conversation's subjective about what you think about Ava.
Mm-hmm.
And then even if you are on the side that Ava does have a full consciousness and is a fully living being, then she commits evil acts, but it's in quote unquote self-defense. But even then, she leaves Caleb, which is also it's a separate level of fucked up.
That, I don't know. That question of whether or not it's evil or not doesn't intrigue me as much as how much what she was actually feeling, right?
Mm-hmm. By the way, Alicia Vikander is fucking incredible in this
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
It's amazing.
There's only like one slip up that like gets me like every time I watch it, but I find it like more adorable than anything. There's a part where she's talking to Caleb, and she says, "Well, but what about your family?"
Oh yeah, her
And
accent for one moment. Yeah, I caught that last night.
It just slips out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't bother me as much as like
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there it is.
Okay, so for the people we're confusing the shit out of with jumping to the philosophical part of the movie is about Caleb, played by Domhnall Gleeson, who I love that dude. He's great. He gets quote unquote selected to visit the giant middle of the forest, super advanced technological home of the dude who owns the company he works for, which is essentially this film's version of like Google or something. It's called Blue Book.
Right.
And that's Nathan, played by Oscar Isaac.
And this dude that he's meeting is, you know, this fucking multi-billionaire fucking elusive genius.
He's a super genius. He's
like
been a
Steve
coding
Jobs
genius
character.
since he was 13. Yeah. He's also weird and an alcoholic.
How is he weird?
He's always up to weird shit. He's just like really, what's the word? I can't think of the word. Eccentric.
Okay, so one of the things I really like,
Especially with the way he communicates.
I think one of the things that I like about this movie is like the constant subversion of expectations.
Yeah.
Right. And it's something that's just constantly happening throughout the entire movie, and it happens a lot with Nathan's character. When you first meet him, you know, like you're expecting this fucking multi-billion-dollar character,
Nerd boy.
expecting fucking Steve Jobs.
Instead, you get half-zipped jacket Oscar Isaac boxing.
Yeah, he's boxing and like he's fucking sweating and saying dude a lot and drinking. Like he's very bro-ish.
Yeah.
And it subverts like that sort of idea of what a genius is supposed to be. Like the only person.
Yeah,
who's
but
really
I also
using,
think it leans into more of what a genius is now. Like I think the idea of a millennial era genius is more in line with Oscar Isaac than Steve Jobs.
Well, I think that he is a version of Steve Jobs. I'm not saying like Steve Jobs. When you actually hear him talk, isn't someone who's using words that are like, like
superfluous.
Like they're words that are very easily to understand. It's just like you can kind of get the air of their own confidence, and they believe that they're sort of superior. Than
He's on stage with Steve Ballmer, who's just screaming all the time. Love that guy. He's great.
Right. But like Caleb in this movie talks way more like
he talks like a coder.
He talks like a coder, and he uses a lot of language that like you're not going to understand if you don't know about fucking computer language and shit. Like,
and Oscar Isaac's like, dude, stop that.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what we're doing here.
Right.
Anyway,
I really
what
enjoy
the
that.
plot comes to, just so everyone can catch up. Caleb comes to the compound. Oscar Isaac lives there. And he's working on the next big project for Blue Book, and it's artificial intelligence. And we meet Ava, who is played by Alicia Vikander. And the rest of the movie is framed as Oscar Isaac using Domhnall Gleeson to, what's it called, the Turing Test?
Yes, the
Turing Test to determine whether or not Ava's intelligence is good enough to be AI. And then, you know, things escalate from there, and Caleb wants to bone a robot. And you can't blame him at all.
That's one of the big things that I like about this movie. I love horror movies, or any like time that you see like a character that's sort of in a tragic situation and he gets caught up into a conflict because of his own actions, right? And I love it when I'm like, fuck, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
You know? And that very much happens in this movie with Caleb. Like I'm like, I would have absolutely done all of the exact same things that Caleb's doing.
Except you wouldn't be capable of, because you can't code. So
True.
you never would have been able to save
But if I were
Ava.
Caleb, I would have made the exact same decisions. Yeah.
I like one of the things I really like about this movie is that I can sit on both sides of the fence and understand both sides. I understand why Caleb did what he did, but I could also understand thinking that maybe Ava is just so advanced that she's able to manipulate me, and that I shouldn't do the things that Caleb does. You know what I mean?
Wait, are you talking about Caleb or Nathan here?
Caleb. I mean, really anybody. Nathan is the one who warns him that maybe Ava has become so advanced that she's able to learn and manipulate Caleb into doing what she wants, which
Yes.
is escape.
Yes. Right. So wait. So what were you saying as far as like doing what Caleb does? Like, what were you saying?
I can understand both sides. I can understand
Okay.
making the choice that Caleb made of, falling in love with this AI,
Right.
and then wanting to save her, or understanding that maybe you're more guarded and you're more skeptical, and you think, oh no, she's just so advanced that she knows how to manipulate me into doing what she wants, and then not doing what Caleb does. I could understand going either direction.
Okay.
I can understand both points of view on it. It's
Okay.
very like, I don't know if subtle is the right word, but it's a coin flip as to what's happening.
Right.
The motivations are hard to figure out.
Yeah. Do you think that Ava has feelings for Caleb at the end of this movie? Do you think
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
You don't know?
I have no idea. And like, again, you could pitch both sides, and I would be like, yeah, maybe. Certain. Like, I think that the huge killer for the yes, she does have feelings for Caleb argument is the fact that she leaves him. And I was watching super hard yesterday.
Okay, that's interesting. What do you mean by that?
I was watching super hard because she fucking abandons him. She leaves him to die.
Wait, and that's evidence for her
Not having feelings for him.
not having feelings.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were saying having feelings.
No,
And I was like,
not
wait,
having
I felt the opposite.
No,
What
if
are
she
you
had
saying?
feelings for him, she would have brought him with her, and he would have happily gone with her and
Right.
accepted everything that
Right.
happened.
I think that whether or not I think that this is why it's such a hard question to answer. And maybe there's a lot of people who really enjoy this movie who don't give a fuck about the answer to this question. But I think whether or not she has feelings for him, she's going to leave him because it's her priority. And she could not have existed as a human while he's still around and he's in her life.
Because he would have known?
Yes.
I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, all that says to me is that she doesn't have enough consciousness to be a fully fledged being.
So I think like I'm going to go back to what like Nathan says at the beginning when Caleb is talking to him about how usually the human and the computer components of the Turing test are both hidden from each other in a normal Turing test, right? And Nathan is like, no, because if I hid her from you,
He
and
knows
there
she'll
was just a
succeed
link-
that test.
Yeah, well, he was like, I know that you would just think that she's human.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the situation that she's going to be in for the rest. Like everything that's succeeding after this movie, right? From that last shot on
Is a real Turing test.
is essentially a real Turing test where the robot is essentially hidden from the rest of the world, right? And she's going to succeed in that. Therefore, like everyone's perceived like perspective of Ava is that she's going to be a human. No one's going to be doubting that. And I think that existence is what she's after. And I think that is why, whether or not she had feelings for Caleb, she was trying to pursue that kind of freedom to live.
Which
right?
is
Like
fine. I get that. But if she did have feelings for him, she wouldn't also leave him to die.
I disagree.
You would leave Kate to die.
Huh? No, I'm saying that love, whatever she's feeling and whatever she perceives as love and whatever she's feeling, whether it's feelings, whatever, right? I'm not saying that I would leave Kate to die. I'm not saying
Good.
that.
That's good.
Obviously, that's good. But I'm saying that her priority is her freedom to live as a human being.
That's fine. You can have both.
But I understand. What do you mean?
You could bring Caleb with you and then explain to
No,
Caleb,
it's not the
listen,
same.
here's the deal.
I completely
We have to
disagree.
go our separate ways.
I completely disagree because like there's still always going to be someone that is aware that she is a robot.
There's someone that's aware that, like, I wet the bed when I was, like, I don't...
Because what she's pursuing is an existence of a human being.
Yeah, which
She's
I
trying
don't,
to become
I
a
don't
real
understand
boy,
why
right?
she couldn't get that
She's trying
if
to become
Caleb
a-
was somewhere else in the world.
Because of the knowledge and because of the information, right? The only thing, okay, so like if you were, Pinocchio trying to become a real boy, right? And someone always knew that you were trying. It's like when people like move away from their hometowns, right? Because they were a nerd in high school, right? Like every time that they go back to their hometown and they see people are always going to know, like, hey, like I remember you were.
Yeah, because they
you
go
were
back
kind
to
of
the
a nerd.
hometown.
Right. But they're trying to pursue an existence where that hometown is that perspective is completely gone, right? That's why I believe that like she kind of had to leave behind this facet of her own psychology.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Right?
There's a difference between like leaving someone behind, like breaking up with them and moving away, than leaving someone to die. There's a level of evil there.
Yeah. But I think that they're clashing with each other, right? They're definitely clashing.
But
with
all
each other.
that says to me is that she isn't a fully fledged person. That
Really?
like, yeah, absolutely.
You don't think so?
No, because if you can't have the nuance to understand that, you could just separate. He doesn't have to die for him to be out of your life.
Dog, fucking people, like, that's one of the most human things ever, is to fucking kill someone because you have a priority that it involves them dying.
You know two people. You know two. One's been nice to you.
Yeah.
And one's been mean.
Sure.
You're going to kill them
But
both.
what is your priority? Her priority is the freedom
to escape.
live. Her priority is not just to escape, man. It's the existence of being a human.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. And
I think I just fundamentally disagree with you, and we're never going to come to an agreement.
Sure, but like I think that I don't know. Yeah, sure. We'll just agree to disagree here.
Yeah.
Ex Machina is a really smart movie.
It's great.
It's something that, like, Alex Garland, I mean, he was just completely obsessed with AI before writing this movie. For like over a decade. I mean, this is basically an entire decade's worth of research and reading different books and stuff like that, and evaluating like what artificial intelligence would look like, and how it would feel, and how it pertains to the human experience. And the ideas and stuff that go along with it, and what it means to the future of the human race as well. And there's just like constant allusions throughout this movie as well. Some of the biggest ones are like Ludwig Wittgenstein, who is a language philosopher. The Bhagavad Gita, as well as Oppenheimer. The Bhagavad Gita is a religious text, I believe, a Hindu religious text. But the I am become death, destroyer of worlds was, it was a quote from Oppenheimer, right? The guy that made the atomic bomb. But he pulled it out of the Bhagavad Gita.
Oh, okay.
But there's references to Prometheus in this movie, who's
that's Greek mythology, right?
Yeah, Greek he's a Greek hero, Greek mythology. That basically he fucking stole fire from the gods, right, and brought it down to humankind as in the form it took with civilization, right. But he was punished by Zeus by getting his liver pecked out by an eagle for all of eternity.
Day.
Right.
Air day.
Every single day. Which I thought was a really cool thing, because like essentially in this story, Nathan is Prometheus, and he gets
stabbed in the liver, basically, I think.
Well, I mean, he gets
it's
not
close
really
to there.
The liver.
It's close to there.
I think the punishment by liver is more of his drinking and alcohol use.
Okay.
I think that's the reference there. But I think one of the most interesting ones, and the one that like I recognized the first time that I watched this movie, and I was so happy. I was like,
I'm so
gleeful.
smart.
I was like, oh man, I caught that. But fucking was Plato's Allegory of the Cave. It's something, it's something that's like not very like superficially alluded to throughout the movie, but essentially what Caleb talks about as the thought experiment with Ava, as far as the Mary in the black and white room. That's Plato's Allegory of the Cave, essentially. This idea that you have someone who's in a black and white room, and they know everything about color, but they don't know what it's like to feel color. Like, and as soon as they leave the black and white room, they know what it's like to feel color.
Do you think that conversation advanced Ava's desire to leave?
I think it was already there, but I think that I think it might have articulated the idea a little bit more. I don't think that it like seeded the. Yeah.
Although, like, I'm not saying I disagree with that. She already had the idea, but do we get a sense that she did before that scene?
Do we get a sense that
she wanted to leave?
That she wanted to escape?
Yeah. I don't know if
I have a feeling. I mean, like, I'm not sure how much of it, like, I'm bringing from like external shit from outside of the movie. So, like, in preparation for this podcast, I reread the script as well. and I've heard like almost every fucking interview out there as far as all the different actors as well as Alex Garland, and there is some backstory that was hinted by Oscar Isaac that makes me believe that that Ava was always trying to escape, just because of the kind of the shit that he was putting her through. He sort of hinted to a things that happened before the movie. He was basically like using her for sex and shit.
I mean, that seems obvious.
It seems
he's doing that with
obvious.
every robot he builds. Yeah.
He's doing that with every robot he builds, but it's not like explicitly stated.
Yeah.
In the movie,
it just heavily
that he
implied.
does it with Ava.
Yeah. But it's implied. Because he's like, theoretically, if you wanted to fuck her, you could. She would feel it. Yeah. You could, and she would feel it.
God, I love how they address sexuality in this
really
in this movie. That's one of my favorite conversations.
Yeah, like when Caleb is like, "Why did you put that in there?" And he's like, "She couldn't be human without it."
Yeah, you can't be human without sexuality.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's really interesting. But then you also see Kyoko, and it's like this weird, fucked up relationship, and she's also another older version of the AI. Or something. You don't know exactly what she is, but she's an older robot that he built that he uses as a maid / butler / sex doll, basically. Yeah.
Do you have any gripes with this movie? No?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Kind of hard to have gripes.
It's really good.
I could definitely see someone who.
I think it's kind of like Ad Astra, where like if you have a different perspective of what kind of movie you're getting into, you might not like it.
Yeah,
but I also I think this movie is way faster paced than Ad Astra is in terms of like the plot moving forward, because I think it's broken down into so many steps, that especially like title card, Ava Session 1, Ava Session 2, and every session, I mean, like structurally speaking, this movie is really simple. It's like Ava Session 1, Caleb and Nathan talk about what they learned. Ava Session 2, Caleb and Nathan talk about and every session is advancing the relationship between Caleb and Ava and widening the relationship between Nathan and Caleb. So it's very simple and it just keeps every so it's basically like every 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, you're advancing to the next stage of emotional feeling.
Yeah. I mean, I would still say that it's somewhat deliberate though.
No, it's certainly deliberate.
I remember watching this.
It's mostly just people talking to each other.
I remember watching this on the ship, and and someone literally said that they were like, "This is just there's a whole lot of talking in this movie."
Yeah,
huh?
that's basically all it is.
And I was like, "Yeah, that's what it is."
Which
it's a lot of conversation.
I don't know. I guess that is a thing that some people are like, they don't like movies like that. I guess, but
yeah, it's not
it's not an action movie by any
action
sense of the imagination.
with robots. No.
Although there is an incredible dance sequence. Incredible.
What do you think about that?
I fucking love that scene.
Dude, I read it. This is the second time that I've read the script, I think. Maybe the third time. Every time I get to that part, I'm like, man, I'm so glad that fucking like I wasn't involved with this process.
Because you would have said take that out?
I would have been like, yo, this is so whack. This is so crazy. Why would you have this in here? You know, fucking but it fits the fucking movie so well. It fits the movie so well.
And it fits Nathan really well.
And it's one of the things that like stick out to people, I think. Like whether they
I mean, it's
so
super
strange.
It's super gifable.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It looks great. Like the coloring on it's really cool. The red lights.
Yeah, but it also just it fits the world.
Yeah.
Like if you were by yourself with some robots for a while, like you would be fucking doing some dance numbers and shit.
You would choreograph entire dance number, not just dancing.
Yeah,
you would choreograph dance numbers with your robots. Oscar Isaac's got moves too.
Yeah,
he's got moves. He's got feeling.
I'm pretty sure that Sonio, what's it?
Sonoya, I think.
Sonoya.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's spelled Sonoya.
Yeah, yeah.
Sonoya, maybe? I don't.
Sonoya. Whatever.
I don't know.
I'm
Say it
sure
like a white
also
kid.
has. She's taken ballet before.
Oh.
She was. I think it's the same thing with Alicia Vikander. I wanted to bring that up as well, as far as like the idea of subverting expectations. And like how many times have you seen a fucking robot in a movie that's like very like robotic moving? Like they don't necessarily move like robots.
Ava does a little bit,
but it's
only
graceful.
when she's not wearing clothes.
You can tell that it's not human like.
Yeah.
Right? But I wouldn't say that it's robotic. Right?
It's in the middle.
It's I'm I don't know if like putting a spectrum on it like that is how I would define it, but like it's not human like. It's very different. Like the way that she moves, you can tell is like choreographed in a way that it's not like a human would move. But I wouldn't say that it's robotic because it's not very static. It's not boxy.
Yeah.
It's just choreographed in a way that like makes it seem unhuman like, unnatural. Yeah, man. Fucking everything about this movie I love. Everything about this
Like
movie.
I said, it's your favorite movie.
Performances, score. I listen
Score
to
is dope.
Fucking Ben Salisbury and Jeff Barrow. Jeff with a G, so you know he comes from money. Every time I talk about him. Yeah, man. Fucking won an Oscar
For
visual
screenplay?
effects.
Oh, okay.
Visual effects. Yeah.
I mean, Ava looks incredible. Like
Yeah.
when she is not just Alicia Vikander, like with short hair and the weird robot neck. When she's full robot and
Right.
like it's crazy how good she looks.
Mhm.
Not like, oh wow, that's a hot robot, but like she looks well made and moves smoothly. Not that she's not a hot robot. She's super hot.
She is.
She's a super hot robot.
She is. Yeah, but actually like beat out fucking The Force Awakens, I think, that year.
I get it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the kind of movie that comes to Oscar season, you're like, we have to give them something, almost.
Right.
It has to get something.
Yeah. It was still an upset though, I believe. Like
I could see it getting a screenplay award.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was nominated. I haven't looked, but I would guess it was nominated for original screenplay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
I think that, I mean, have you covered all of your research? Everything that you've learned in your years of studying this film? Oh, by the way, it's on Netflix.
Oh, it is on Netflix?
Yeah.
I went ahead and bought it.
I mean, you didn't already own it?
I thought that I did.
Oh, okay.
That's why I went ahead and bought it. I was like,
Yeah.
how do I not already own this?
Yeah, you should definitely own it.
So I just owned it.
Did you buy does it come with a director's commentary cut or something?
I don't know, but I'll look.
It should.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool. I don't know what Alex Garland, I've never heard Alex Garland talk. I don't know what he sounds like.
He has a British accent.
He's British?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. They're fucking geniuses over there.
Yep.
These goddamn Brits. They're
Fucking,
so good at everything.
One thing I thought was interesting, fucking Oscar Isaac patterned his character looks as well as like persona around Bobby Fischer and Stanley Kubrick. If you look at his like face, it's very. I mean, like you're like, oh yeah, he definitely looks like
The
Kubrick.
big beard.
Yeah, the big beard and the like short hair and fucking glasses.
Shaved head. Yeah.
Yeah, very much looks
That's
like
interesting.
Kubrick.
I wonder if it's just because like Stanley Kubrick's a genius, Nathan's a genius.
Well, he was literally going after like the elusive genius.
Yeah.
Bobby Fischer and Stanley Kubrick are both.
Bobby Fischer is
chess.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I knew that. I recognized the name, but I didn't.
Yeah, really good at chess.
Yeah, but what's that? What's it mean to be good at chess? You just move pieces around.
Mm-hmm.
They all do something different. There's no strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need to think ahead of your opponent. Fucking chess. I'm awful at chess. All right. I think that covers the dopeness of Ex Machina.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Ex Machina, by the way, people. It's not how you say it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the only time that that you actually see like the phrase Deus Ex Machina throughout the entire movie is the folder. I don't know if you've noticed that. There's a folder on Nathan's computer that's literally titled Deus Ex Machina, and that's where he finds all of the videos, the video feeds of all of the previous...
What does Deus Ex Machina translate to exactly?
So Deus Ex Machina is a Latin phrase from a Greek a Greek play element, theater element, meaning God from the machine.
Yes. So this just means from the machine.
Exactly.
Yeah, the title of this movie, From
Yeah.
the Machine. Cool. Next week's the Joker. The weirdly controversial Joker for some, like, it became controversial weirdly, like, before it came out. Did you see all that stuff?
Because of violence?
So, yeah, something weird. I think it was, like, partially because of remember the shooting in Colorado back when The Dark Knight Rises came out?
Mm-hmm.
And the dude was, like, apparently dressed like the Joker. I think that was part of it. It was, like, a fear of that. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's been like weird, and like Todd Phillips has apparently said a bunch of weird stuff this week that people are being like, oh wait, Todd Phillips just seems like a jerk. Like he was talking about like how he's not going to make comedies anymore because people are too woke to be funny or something. He just said some weird stuff during their press junket this week, and people were like, I'm not going to see Joker because Todd Phillips is a dick. I was I'm still going to see it. Not too worried about it. But yeah, we're going to go see Joker and talk about it. Joaquin, Mr. Phoenix. I'm excited. I know I sound super excited when I say it like that. I'm excited. Find Chris on the socials, chrismichaelstott.com. Read his scripts on his website, chrismichaelstott on Instagram. I'm Davinwell25 on Twitter and Instagram. The show, The Chris and Kyle Show, is on Facebook, on YouTube, on all podcasting platforms, on Instagram, tcaks pod on Twitter. There is a poll up for our October Halloween Disney Classic themed poll between Halloween Town and Hocus Pocus. Go vote on that. Other than that, we will be back on Monday for our NBA season preview episode. So like we said last time, if you don't like when we talk about sports, you're not going to want to listen to that episode. We out, guys.
We out. Stay weird.